We start with a live look outside right now, and while you're sleeping tonight, more icy weather is expected all across East Texas. We've got CBS19 crews out all across so that you can see exactly what it looks like. Bottom line, we've made it through the first blast of winter weather, but it's only going to get colder, and the second could be worse. New tonight, Rusk County Electric Cooperative sharing these images. Heavy ice is weighed down trees and power lines, causing branches to snap and lines to come down in multiple areas. You can see utility crews working from bucket trucks, trying to safely clear limbs and restore power.
And check out the drone footage sent in by viewer Marcus Wofford from Longview. From above, you can see major roadways lightly coated with ice. At ground level, open fields and walkways appear frozen over with a thin sheet of ice stretching across the landscape.
And that's just a tiny look into what we're seeing across East Texas tonight as that winter storm barrels through.
Yeah, and let's start with Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. Brett, I mean, we already got part of it earlier today, but it's a lot coming tonight.
The worst is yet to come, they might say. Yeah, we've got a big band of sleet and snow, maybe some freezing rain headed in our direction, but right now on radar, it would indicate that it's all sleet and snow. So that would be good for in terms of reducing power outages, but man, it's going to leave the roads in quite a mess tomorrow, but would also leave East Texas with a little bit of a white winter wonderland. Out here at Dallas and Waco, Terrell, Sulphur Springs, it's sleet and snow coming down. It is moving into an area where the temperatures are slightly warmer, so there is still a chance for it to mix with freezing rain. But it has gotten progressively colder as the evening has gone on. Jacksonville's down to 25, Henderson is down to 25, Center down to 27, Lufkin now below freezing. So please, let's watch out for those roadways. Those bridges and overpasses will become slick, and then once the precipitation moves in here, likely after 11 o'clock and lasting a good 4 or even 5 hours, we could be talking about this precipitation persisting up until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You can see it building out here along and west of I-35 while we just have a smattering of mixed precipitation over East Texas. But look at this wall of snow and sleet. I know when Ayanna saw this earlier, it got her attention, and she asked me, is that coming our way? Yes, all of that is moving toward East Texas. So right now, streets are just wet still, but they could become icy in spots. Untreated roadways, neighborhood roadways could be the ones that are probably the most slick. It's 21 right now at Jefferson and at Marshall, 23 at Mount Pleasant. We're still at 30 at Athens, but this colder air continuing to push southward. The storm itself is now just moving into Texas. We've waited all day for the main part of the storm to arrive. Earlier today, it was just warm air rushing over top the cold dome at the surface, but now that storm is literally moving closer and closer. In fact, the center of it now is just south of Abilene, so it will move overhead tonight and bring this wall of freezing rain and sleet over the area. We could see a ½ inch of sleet an hour, and again, that could last a couple of hours. Ice storm warnings continue through tomorrow afternoon. Winter storm warning through noon for areas in pink, and that is along and north of Interstate 20. So for tonight, freezing rain, sleet moving in at 11 o'clock, and it's with us all the way through 4 a.m. and then begins to slowly taper. It'll still be close to the Louisiana border by about 7 o'clock, but by 8 o'clock, cloudy skies, gray winter day, temperatures around 21 degrees and cloudy at 8 a.m. And our forecast ice outlook, just want to give you an update on this. You can see most of this is going to be freezing rain and sleet mixed, and we could see still potentially up to 1/4 of an inch in some areas, maybe 3/10 of an inch over deep East Texas. Back with another look at radar, a look at the very cold temperatures to follow. We have extreme cold warnings in place through Tuesday morning. We'll talk about that in your 10-day forecast in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Brett. And when the temperature drops this low, the cold can be deadly. Across East Texas, shelters are seeing a surge in people looking for warmth and some a second chance.
CBS 19's Robert De La Garza joins us live to show us how one Longview rescue mission is stepping up when it matters most. Robert, good evening.
Good evening, Brendan, Ayana. We're out here in Longview, Highway 80. Just kind of take a look at what we're seeing right now. You can see how the sleet and the frozen ice has kind of covered this lot as well, this roadways. But when it gets this cold out here, sometimes when these people are unhoused, people are on the streets, sometimes all they need is a warm bed, some soup, maybe a warm meal, and a bath. But, we're going to show you how Highway 80 is doing that and giving people a second chance and saving lives. As temperatures reach below freezing, a warm shelter can mean the difference between life and death.
We have to take care of a lot of people that are coming in the doors that don't normally come into a mission.
And as those temperatures drop, at Highway 80, a faith-based rescue mission in Longview, Jeremy McDill has seen capacity rise nearly double.
Right now, we're fluctuating anywhere from 120 to 150 people.
McDill is the resident supervisor here, but years ago, he walked through those same doors looking for his second chance. But he says getting people inside is often the hardest part.
We definitely are just here to make sure that God's children are taken care of, but mostly that they just have a warm and comfortable place to come and rest.
Biggest thing is just trying to see if they have somewhere to go. And if the answer is no, then we're going to figure out, are they willing to go to one of these shelters?
Spokesperson for the Longview Police Department, Ladarian Brown, says officers are out making sure anyone out in the cold gets the help they need.
We definitely want to get as many people that we can find off the streets before the storm gets worse. That way they don't have to be out here in the elements.
For people with nothing, services like these can be crucial.
You know, if you have nothing, a quarter's a lot. You got the heat, you got blankets, you got a nice hot shower. I mean, that means the world.
Rodney Mitchell has been sheltered at the rescue for 4 months.
Coming in here, you know, you just, like I said, you just get warm, and it's almost like getting your battery recharged in life.
Because in this cold, these doors could mean survival. That's right, and Highway 80 says that they are right now on 24/7 working in an open door policy, and they're letting people in they normally don't let in, and that's people with criminal records, maybe criminal trespassing, some of them. And they said right now in this time, they don't need to pass judgment. They even told me that right now we won't hold anything against them when it comes down to their lives. Reporting in Longview, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
All right, thanks, Robert. Well, we're now entering the second wave of this ice storm, and its impacts are being felt across the region. In Cherokee County alone, more than 4,000 customers are already without power.
Our Jamie Hazard is live in Jacksonville right now. And Jamie, how's the community holding up in this weather?
I am here with Bill Bateman, who is the president here at Highway 69 Mission. And I mean, it's wet out there for sure, and those conditions are expected to worsen overnight. And a lot of people that you've seen have lost power. So kind of what have you experienced thus far during the storm?
Well, we've not just heard, but we have lots of calls, lots of people coming by and saying electricity is out. They don't have heat, they don't have water. They're struggling. They're looking for some way to get warm, or if it's only for a day. So the mission here, we supply food and groceries and clothing and place to sleep, warm blankets. They can take a shower here, pretty much anything and everything they want. So the calls just keep coming and keep coming. A lot from elderly and a lot from, I say, younger women, mid-age women that have children and don't want their kids to be cold. So they call us and ask can they stay, and we're welcome. We're 24/7. We're ready. We want to help, and that's what the Lord tells us to do, to help the needy. It's pleasing to the Lord to help the needy and those who are less fortunate. So we base ourselves as a faith-based 501c3 to help anybody, to help everybody. We can't do every one of them. It's financial reasons or whatever it might be. But if we can do one part, a little part, to make just a part of their life a little simpler, a little easier, even if it's for a day. And that's what we believe in. That's what we do is four category. Number one, we want to help the children. Mm-hmm. No child should go hungry ever. So we help the children. We want to help the widows, which mm-hmm. the Bible tells us. Mm-hmm. We want to help the elderly, whatever it might be. Prescription drugs, big thing with the elderly. Yes. They don't have them, can't afford them.
Yeah.
So we help them, and then probably our number one deal is our veterans.
Yeah.
The veterans in my opinion, and many have been treated very unfair.
Yeah.
And they're homeless, they're on the streets, they're living in their cars. That's the only reason we're here.
Yeah. No, that's amazing, and you're doing great work here, and that door is open for anyone here in Jacksonville. We'll shoot it back to you in the studio.
All right, Jamie Hazard live in Jacksonville. Thank you. And President Donald Trump has approved an emergency declaration for Texas as a powerful winter storm impacts much of the country.
The declaration will help state and local officials provide emergency services and resources during the storm. Texas is among several states included in that action. The declarations also include Indiana, along with Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, among other states. President Trump posted on social media that federal, state, and local teams are working together to keep people safe.
And a weather impact alert here as we head closer now to the 10, 11 o'clock hour, in the next band of freezing rain. Sleet and maybe even snow mixes back into East Texas and moves across the area. Temperatures solidly below freezing. They're not going anywhere tonight. In fact, it's going to get colder. So that means roads will deteriorate and power could become an issue later on tonight. Let's hope we get mainly sleet out of this and not freezing rain. Back with an updated forecast, looking ahead to some bitterly cold temperatures moving in tomorrow night and again Monday night into Tuesday morning.
Welcome back. Let's get to a major national headline, a deadly shooting in Minneapolis. Two very different stories are being told tonight about what happened after a Border Patrol agent shot and killed a man, prompting more protests.
Homeland Security says one thing, but state leaders say cell phone video shows otherwise. Protesters were marching this morning in Minneapolis calling for immigrations and custom enforcement to leave when that deadly shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by a Border Patrol agent escalated an already tense scene. The Department of Homeland Security says agents were conducting a targeted operation when an armed individual approached them, but several elected leaders are denouncing that account.
The Trump administration has already called Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist. He was a nurse.
Preddy's family says they are heartbroken and angry, saying the administration is lying about their son. They say it's clear from the video he had a phone in one hand and in his other hand in the air as he tried to protect the woman who had been shoved.
And as you can see, there's wet roads out there and rainfall will continue to come down. Some slick roads out there. So stay right there with us because after the break, Chief Meteorologist Brent Anthony will be tracking all the weather conditions and what you can expect outside tonight into the morning.
All right, 18 minutes past 10 o'clock on this Saturday night, January 24th, 2026 weather impact alert. And what we've been concerned about today going into the storm, as we were talking about it all week, was exactly what we've seen in some places in Cherokee County and Rusk County. And that is enough ice on the trees to break those tree limbs and then take down power lines and then knock out power. We have several thousand people without power. So for many, this storm has already realized its potential. For others, they're kind of still wondering if we're going to see what we talked about in terms of a quarter of an inch to half inch of ice. That's still a possibility, and it could come in the form of, say, sleet overnight. We could have accumulations of sleet and maybe some freezing rain by tomorrow morning. We have one more round to go, and it's just starting to push into the area. Another shot here from Kelly Trailer in Cherokee County. You can see how the ice just too heavy for that tree limb, and it busted it right off the trunk of the tree. And then Amy Jackson down in Rusk County showing us these photos here of just ice-laden trees from freezing rain there earlier today. She told me they lost power around 8 a.m. I have not heard whether or not they have power back yet. There were other reports on some of the streams we did tonight of power outages in Mount Enterprise since about 8 o'clock this morning, and power had not returned. So a very cold night to be in the dark for sure. Temperatures right now, lower 20s at Mount Pleasant over toward Jefferson. Gilmer's at 22. Jacksonville is down to 25. Crockett's down to 28. Dallas and Waco at 18. And here comes that next wall of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. On CBS19 radar, the purple would be sleet and snow. The blue would be all snow. So there is a chance this whole area moves into East Texas as some sleet, but there's a little bit of warmer air aloft, and look what's happening as it approaches Interstate 45, starting to mix back with some freezing rain. So that'll certainly be a possibility here overnight. Right now, streets are wet. We do see little icicles that have gathered on some of the metal objects, some of the wires. Certainly do not want that to accumulate even more, or that would be problematic overnight tonight. 27 degrees right now, light freezing rain being reported at Tyler Pounds. Dew points are down into the lower 20s. North wind at 10 miles an hour, also a concern. North winds pushing back some of those ice-laden tree limbs could cause those to break. The storm itself came at us in two parts. The first part was the warm air riding up over the cold air. The second part is the main storm itself, which is now south of Abilene, pushing into East Texas. So let's play this out for you using Future Skycast. This is right now, and you can see just the early beginnings of the sleet and freezing rain and snow moving back into East Texas. By 11:45, we are in it. And we are in it for several hours through 1:30 in the morning, through almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Up until about 4:30, it starts to move out of, say, Wood and Smith and Cherokee County, but still pushing into areas closer to the Louisiana border. In fact, there could be one last little push at about 7 o'clock, and then that moves out. Snow flurries Sunday morning, but look how cold it is. Temperatures are in the teens, and it's gray, it's cold, and then more snow showers may push along Interstate 30 tomorrow afternoon, but won't add any additional accumulation. And then Sunday night into Monday, it just gets bitter cold, and that's why we have the extreme cold warning in effect tomorrow night through Tuesday at noon. For instance, wind chills Monday morning, below zero now, showing up at Henderson, at Tyler, at Mineola, 4 below at Sulphur Springs. Single-digit wind chills down in St. Augustine, Lufkin, and Groveton. This is the night, if we're going to see busted pipes, that's when it could happen, Sunday night into Monday morning. So make sure you're leaving the faucets dripping a little bit or the cabinets open so that there's warm air circulating around those pipes in those sinks and things like that. Outside faucets need to be protected for sure. So forecast then for tonight, a wintry mix overnight. Significant icing is likely in parts of the area with a north wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Freezing rain and sleet will be our main precipitation types, down to 20. Tomorrow it's winter's gray day. Cloudy, very cold, and a north-northwest wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour, making 23 feel like it's about 5 to 10 above. Here's your Baylor Scott and White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital 10-day forecast. So weather impact alert tomorrow for cold. Weather impact alert continues for the bitterly cold temperatures Monday morning and Tuesday morning. Both of these mornings, if there's any melting, things are going to freeze back real hard. And that'll happen again Wednesday morning as temperatures drop to 25. But look what happens. We get to Thursday, 52, maybe some showers next Friday, and temperatures stay, below average right on through the rest of that 10-day forecast. So a cold stretch of weather here in East Texas. CBS 19 News at 10 returns right after this.
Welcome back to CBS 19 News at 10. As the temperature continues to plunge and ice builds up, it brings an increase for power outages, but Oncor is working ahead. Tom Trimble, a spokesperson with Oncor, says that they're ready for conditions that could weigh down lines and cause outages. They're prepping extra trucks with supplies and have crews on standby.
We're hoping to get a lot of those folks back on as quickly as possible. We're going to continue to work through the night tonight. We'll work through this freezing rain. We'll work through the sleet. We'll work through everything to try to get the people back on as quickly and as safely as we can.
Meanwhile, SWEPCO says that they've done just about everything they can do to prepare for the winter storm. With temperatures expected to drop, company leaders say they're deploying crews to respond to any reported outages.
For those that do not have power right now, we're hoping to get those restored, but there will be some customers that do not have power by the end of the night. And so please make sure that you're prepared, you have a plan to be warm overnight. Our crews will continue to work some through the night and then again in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning to restore that power.
And we're taking a live look over Tyler as conditions on the roads continue to worsen. We'll have an update on your weather impact alert forecast and more from live reporters in the field. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS 19 News at 10. We are staying on top of conditions in the sky and on the roads as that winter storm ramps up. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brennan Gurley.
And I'm Ayana Aird. So let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. Brett, it's already a lot of action going on right now outside.
Yeah, radar is lit up for sure. This is the time of the night or time of a storm where I start to look at it and I'm like, we can go 5 more hours and get through everything. We're going to be A-okay. And so that's where we are. 5 more hours, folks, and you survive. You got power on and things are good, then you'll be okay. But we got to get through the next 5 hours, and they could be the roughest of this entire winter storm. Right now, it's a smattering of freezing rain, freezing drizzle, sleet. Just depends on where you live. Maybe a little bit of rain still falling down in Lufkin where the temperature's at 30. Hemphill still at 33. Gilmer, Mount Pleasant at 22. Anything liquid there on roadways is probably icing up pretty quickly. Bridges, overpasses, as we've been talking about all day long, the first to go, and they could be slick. Untreated roadways, look at Jacksonville, parts of Cherokee County, 24 degrees. Tyler's at 24. Longview's at 25. I throw this into motion for us. There's this big area, a wide area of sleet and snow moving into East Texas from the DFW, and it's pretty impressive to look at, and it is headed right in our direction. So should be here by 11, should last for about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, and could produce 1 or 2 inches of sleet or a 1/4 to 1/2 inch of freezing rain and ice. Just kind of unsure exactly the types of precipitation we'll see just because it's moving into some slightly warmer air, and right now it's sleet and snow being reported out to our west. Streets are wet but very cold. Jefferson, Marshall at 21 degrees, Nacogdoches at 29, Athens at 28 degrees. Ice storm warning continues through tomorrow afternoon. Areas in purple have that chance to see the sleet and freezing rain accumulations. Areas in pink, it's more so about snow and sleet accumulations. It has been a wild storm for sure so far, and just not over yet, and probably going to be kind of crazy as we head through the overnight hours. So freezing rain, 11 p.m. Temperature at 25, so no matter where you are in East Texas, I think at 11 o'clock you've got freezing rain or sleet falling at that time. And then it persists for 5 straight hours. This is why the second part of this, steadier, more widespread, and heavier, and why we talked about perhaps having the biggest impact on power outages and on roadways coming Saturday night into Sunday morning. And we did see that lull earlier today, so this is the expected second round. By 8 a.m., the precipitation is starting to move out. Look at your temperature, though, down to 21. So we're not going to get much, if any, melting tomorrow. And if we do, when the temperature Monday morning falls all the way back to about 12 degrees, that's when we're going to see a very hard freeze. We have an extreme cold warning out for Sunday night into Monday morning, and again Monday night and Tuesday morning. It's also the time when we're going to start to be concerned about frozen pipes. So we're going to need to talk about that, and of course the 4 Ps with people, pets, those pipes, and of course plants should have already been brought in. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the precipitation overnight. I've got a new future skycast. We're going to look at that. We'll time out the storm as it moves through East Texas. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Brett, thank you. And as we continue to track dangerously cold winter weather across East Texas, Smith County remains under disaster declaration with icy roads and possible power outages still a major concern.
But in Lindale, we're also seeing how this weather is bringing people together. CBS 19's Nayeli Carrillo joins us now live in Lindale to tell us more about how one group is stepping up to keep essential workers moving. Nayeli.
Brennan, Ayana, good evening. When dangerous conditions make it difficult to get to work, some of the people that we rely on the most still have to show up. Here in Lindale, a group of Jeep owners are making sure they can. This is how they're helping those who help us. Along Interstate 20 in Lindale, traffic is sparse, speeds are slow, and slick spots are hard to miss.
I think that's probably the best thing. If you don't need to go, just stay home.
But rather than staying home, owners of Lindale Custom Jeeps and volunteers are picking up their keys and offering free rides to those needing to head to work.
Most all of them are nurses.
Helping the first responders.
We would all be in trouble without them. And so they help us. Well, it's our turn.
While Jeep owners are known for their ducks, Galen Graddick says the Jeep community is much more.
It's about helping people, mostly.
During the 2021 winter storm, the group quietly pulled stranded drivers, including police officers, out of ditches. This time, they decided to do more, focusing on the people who can't stay home.
We might as well just help everybody that we can.
Some of the people they're helping they know, most of them, they don't.
Yeah, I hope nobody needs us, but I would suspect there's probably going to be at least in the 25, 30 range, maybe 40.
And while this effort is based in Lindale, they say they're part of a bigger family. Jeep groups across East Texas also stepping up to help their communities.
So we're ready to go whenever we get a call.
Who needs a ride to work tomorrow, you can call or text the number 903-521-0004. Reporting live in Lindale, I'm Nayeli Carrillo.
Nayeli, thank you. Stay warm out there. We'll check back in with you later. This morning, Hunger for Love, a local nonprofit, stepped up to help those in need by serving dozens of people experiencing homelessness with hot food, cold weather gear, and most importantly, a reminder they're not forgotten.
Yeah, and we spoke with board member Dean Parks on their mission and how they're supporting those in need during this cold weather.
Right now, it's going through some harsh weather. They're feeling it. They're in tents. They're in the woods. They're unfortunate, and a lot of times they're unforgotten. And that's what we try to do. We try to give them a little hope, bring the love of Jesus to them. We had donuts and coffee and sack lunches this morning. That was brought to us from Crossband Cowboy Church. I put on KVNE, listened to some worship music. I put a lot of smiles on their faces.
You can find ways to donate to support Hunger for Love's mission on our website, CBS19.tv.
All right, weather impact alert. The mix of freezing rain and sleet continues here in East Texas as temperatures continue to drop now into the mid-20s. We'll talk about what we expect overnight, how much ice we could possibly see, not eventually see, but possibly see by tomorrow morning. That's coming up in your CBS 19 forecast.
Welcome back. The fierce winter storm is sweeping across the United States, including right here in East Texas.
And it could bring a catastrophic mix of ice, snow, and record cold to tens of millions of people. In Oklahoma City, it arrived with extreme cold, temperatures well below normal in the single digits. Further south, freezing rain is coating roads in Texas and Alabama and cars in Mississippi. That ice could trigger crippling power outages across the region. Nearly 200 Florida utility workers are now in Georgia and South Carolina in position for what's to come.
Once we get more than about a quarter inch of ice on those lines, the lines either start sagging and failing, or more likely you actually get the vegetation above it, the trees, to fall on the lines.
Across the South, ahead of the storm, people packed grocery and hardware stores, leaving behind empty shelves.
And speaking of Texas, here's a live look at ERCOT's website. You can see the state's grid is holding up against the winter storm right now. We'll be right back. Stay right there.
Welcome back. Sometimes you just got to toot your own horn, even though you don't feel like doing it or want to do it about yourself. We can do that. And so I'm just here to say that because of Brett's forecasting, he's been forecasting this winter storm since, what, November you called this to happen this week? And viewers are even noticing it, too.
Yeah, I just got a message on Facebook about that. They're like, didn't you call for this back in December? Which I had talked about it in December, but it was based on pattern recognition from November that in about 2 months' time, this part of the pattern would oscillate or return. And so it pointed toward this week in January for cold air and the possible ice or snowstorm. So
it's just another reason to keep it right here. I mean, we've other stations you can go to. That's fine. We appreciate you watching us, but you're only going to get the best forecast from Brett.
Best chief meteorologist in the biz.
We still got to get the short-term forecast right tonight, so let's talk about that. We're looking at CBS19 radar here tonight, and yes, it's gotten cold as expected. Maybe just a little slower than what was expected. It looked like the temperatures would fall all day into the mid-20s, but they actually warmed back into the lower 30s today when the sleet and the freezing rain shut off earlier today. And we had some warmer air kind of mixed back down to the surface. But right now, everything kind of going according to plan. We're in the lower 20s at Mount Pleasant and Gilmer. So hopefully we helped you prepare for this just looking at the way the temperatures are dropping. And now the next part of the preparation is to get ready for this next band of sleet, snow, maybe mixing with some freezing rain. Right now in Athens, it's sleet. In Palestine, it's sleet. In Crockett, it's a mixture of sleet and freezing rain. But there's a whole wall of this headed in our direction. It's going to be the heaviest. It's going to be the steadiest of all of the precipitation we've seen with this storm. 26 degrees right now. Winds are still north at 8 miles an hour. Look at the cold air just piling into East Texas tonight, pushing all the way down to the south. 22 Sulphur Springs, Dallas at 17, still holding on to freezing at Crockett, Lufkin, and at Hemphill, but won't throughout the overnight hours. All right, here's future skycast. We're going to start this at the current time, about 10:45. That light precipitation moving in, but becomes heavier by around 11:15 to 11:30. 11:45, we are in some steady, solid freezing rain or sleet. The pink would indicate a mixture of both. That continues through 1:30 in the morning. It continues through 3 o'clock in the morning. Up until 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, it continues. And we might see one more band between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. So the thinking here is that we still have the potential to pick up a half inch of either freezing rain, maybe a quarter inch of freezing rain, or 1 to 2 inches of sleet. Still ice, but just coming in different forms. And then Sunday afternoon, some snow showers near Interstate 30, but then they'll move on out, and then the bitter cold will move in. So the extreme cold warning takes over tomorrow evening. It replaces the ice storm warning. The extreme cold warning comes in, and that is in place because Monday morning we expect air temperatures to be near record lows, maybe around 12 degrees, with wind chill values now forecast to be below zero. That's pipe busting weather here in East Texas, and we could do that again Tuesday morning, because Monday night or Monday afternoon we'll see a little bit of freezing. Then Tuesday morning we're going to drop down to about 15 degrees. Anything that should happen to melt Monday afternoon with the sun out will freeze solid again Tuesday morning and recreate some icy spots. So wind chills Monday morning. This is a big bundle up kind of morning. 2 below in Jacksonville, 1 below at Henderson, 2 below at Gilmer. Again, air temperatures at that time 10 to 12 degrees above zero. So we got to take precautions on our pipes, especially our pipes Sunday night, Monday night. Tonight, wintry mix overnight. Some significant icing in spots is likely. North winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. The chance of precipitation overnight, 100%. Overnight low around 20 with freezing rain and sleet moving in. Then tomorrow, it's cloudy for the most part, maybe some snow flurries around the area. Otherwise, it's winter's gray day, 23. It is the perfect day to watch the AFC Championship here on CBS 19. That's tomorrow afternoon. I believe that starts at 2:30. So just sit tight and watch the AFC Championship, then stick around for CBS 19 News at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. 23, freezing rain ends in the morning. 31 after a morning low of 12 Monday. 13 Tuesday morning, back up to 42. We take a look at the rest of the 10-day forecast with below freezing weather Wednesday, Thursday morning, up to 52 on Thursday. Friday, a little chance for some showers. Not real sure on the timing there, but the temperatures are above freezing, so no snow or ice next Friday. There were some questions on Facebook during one of our streams about wintry weather next Friday. It's too warm. 48 Saturday, 46 Sunday, and then Monday into Tuesday, we've got mild temperatures returning. Overnight lows back above freezing to round out that 10-day forecast with yet another small chance of rain and a high around 54. CBS 19 News at 10 returns right after this.
Welcome back to CBS 19 News at 10. And as we get deeper into this weather storm, the rain, ice, and winds are impacting power across the region. So we wanted to break down the latest numbers in our area. Now, right now, across East Texas, 3 counties here in East Texas have the highest number of power outage, and that's Shelby County, Rusk County, and Panola. Shelby County, which is right here. Here's a map outlook of all of East Texas. So right here in Shelby County, there is 5,000 power outages. In Rusk County, there's 4,000. In Panola County, there's 3,000. As you can see, these highlighted areas right here are the counties currently experiencing power outages. And right now, there's 41,000 people who do not have power here in Texas, but that's a good thing because the number dropped about 15,000 customers earlier. It was 53,000, but CBS 19 will keep an eye on these numbers throughout the night so you can stay up to date on what's going on across East Texas. Now up next, we'll get a final check at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony.
All right, sometimes in the spring when we're tracking rain and thunderstorms, we point out to the west and we say, there comes a wall of rain and thunderstorms. Well, in this case, it's a wall of sleet and snow and freezing rain tonight. That'll be moving through East Texas between now and probably 4 or 5 a.m. So that's an extended period of frozen precipitation falling on the streets, on the trees, on the power lines. So there may be additional power outages tonight. The wind is still blowing out of the north at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, so that will be a possibility. If it's more sleet, then the roadways are going to be treacherous by tomorrow morning. If it's more freezing rain, then we're going to be waking up to some more power outages. And of course, trees that'll just be laden with ice and kind of hanging over. It'll look pretty, but it can be very, very dangerous. All right, for the forecast then tonight, we're talking about a wintry mix, some icing likely, significant rain, sleet, or I should say freezing rain, sleet and possible 20 for the overnight low. And then tomorrow, winter's gray day. There could be some snow flurries, but without the sun, boy, the temperatures are not going to budge at all. It's one of the coldest days we've had in a few years here in East Texas in terms of daytime highs only being in the lower 20s. Down to 12 Monday morning. Please take precautions to wrap your pipes because that temperature like that could bust pipes, and that could happen again Tuesday morning. So we've extended out our weather impact alert until Tuesday morning, and then temperatures back to the mid 40s by Wednesday, lower 50s by Thursday. Some rain showers, Brennan, unfortunately for Paul Forward on Friday, but I don't know if it'll impact Paul Forward because it could come morning for a short period of time or later in the afternoon.
Good news there, Brad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we'll continue to bring you the latest information on what you need to know and this winter storm moves through East Texas. Stay right here with us on CBS 19 Plus tomorrow morning for our streaming show from 8 a.m. to 9:30 to bring you all the latest about the winter storm. And thanks for watching us tonight on CBS 19 News at 10. Stay safe and warm out there.